YouTube? What's up? It's Marko Stats, and this is another episode of Marko Stats Reacts. This time we're gonna do something a little bit different. Okay, we're gonna get into some conspiracy topics. You know, I specialize more so in music, sports, etc., etc. But I'm a conspiracy theorist too. You know what I'm saying? So this one right here, I haven't seen this one yet, but this is Chicago Hospital's body harvesting ring. I don't trust hospitals in general, and I've been hearing about this for a long time in Chicago and really in different cities in America in general. Like, it be a lot of spooky things going on behind the scenes and stuff, man. Yeah, you know, I just, yeah, man, don't get me started. But without further ado, we gonna get into the video, man. Chicago Hospital's body harvesting ring. Crazy shit. Crazy shit.
After a recent video I posted about people that went missing in Detroit hospitals, I was flooded with comments and stories from viewers with similar situations and stories. In the comments section, I was told about human body part rings that have been discovered over the years. Intrigued, I decided to slap on my tinfoil hat and dive into this rabbit hole. I immediately took that tinfoil hat off because I don't think I'm going crazy at all.
What they be doing with the bodies, though, man? What the fuck they be doing with the bodies, man? Some bullshit. Cause like, how the fuck do all these people go missing and then it's not even like an issue? Like, people not even talking about it. Like, that's crazy.
Because the truth is stranger than fiction. This is what I found. In the quiet suburbs of Chicago, federal agents raided two ordinary-looking businesses and uncovered the unthinkable. Thousands of human body parts were meticulously cataloged and priced for sale. Heads for $500, arms for $750, or whole bodies for $5.
They really charging motherfuckers for bodies, but what they doing with the bodies though? That's crazy. Black market shit. What the fuck?
$1,000. Behind this dark marketplace was the Biological Resource Center of Illinois, a body broker operation allegedly deceiving donors who believed they were contributing to medical science and not having their remains sold for profit. This wasn't an isolated incident either. Similar operations have been exposed across America, from Arizona.
Across America, that's what I'm saying. It's not even just in Chicago, but I know Chicago is definitely a hotspot for this type of shit.
Where investigators discovered scenes reminiscent of Frankenstein with mismatched body parts sewn together, to Colorado, where a funeral home allegedly gave families concrete dust instead of ashes while selling their loved ones' bodies. These cases expose a troubling truth. While organ donation for transplants is strictly regulated,
these dudes just look weird, bro. Not every single doctor is righteous. Some people become doctors so they can do crazy shit. There's good and bad of everything. Keep that in mind.
The trade-in non-transplant body parts operates in a regulatory vacuum, allowing exploitation of donors' generosity and families' grief. But could these victims be more than just donors who donated their bodies to help others? Could a portion of these victims also be from missing people from all around the U.S.? Hello strangers, welcome back to The Strange Bar and Grill. I'm your host, JP. Today we'll be discussing the human body trade, a truth more disturbing than any conspiracy theory.
And then it's mostly black people too, crazy.
In the frigid January air of suburban Chicago, federal agents descended upon two seemingly ordinary businesses, a nondescript crematorium in Schiller Park and an office building in Rosemont, housing the Biological Resource Center of Illinois. What they discovered would pull back the curtain on a largely unregulated industry operating in the shadows of American healthcare. But could this raid also hold clues to another disturbing pattern across America? The issue of men and women going missing from hospitals. Let's take a look. When agents executed their carefully planned search warrants at the two facilities, they uncovered an inventory that read like the manifest of a medical school anatomy lab. Thousands of body parts and tissue samples, meticulously cataloged, heads, hands, legs, and torsos, were stored in containers. According to federal documents later unsealed, these weren't merely medical specimens awaiting educational use. They were allegedly inventory in what authorities described as a body broker ring that
What the fuck? Why is this even a thing, bro? Like, why? Like, how did they even get the like?
illegally traded in human remains. Now, this federal investigation hadn't actually begun in Illinois. It started when authorities discovered scores of human remains stored on ice, not properly embalmed as required for medical specimens, in
Man, the fucking government be letting this shit go on, man. They be letting this shit go on, bro. They don't give a fuck about us.
warehouses in Detroit and Phoenix. And if you remember from my last story, we talked about hospitals in Detroit and people going missing. I'll leave a link to that in the description. These discoveries created a trail that eventually led investigators to the Chicago suburbs and the BRCIL.
The Chicago suburbs, hey, I know that whatever city that y'all from, suburbs probably lame as hell. Probably ain't nothing going on. You feel me? But Chicago South suburbs be busting. It be a lot of crazy shit that be going on in the Chicago suburbs in general. But like the South suburbs, crazy. Even like the North suburbs, like that one serial killer, John Wayne Gacy, he from the North suburbs, or he was born on the north side of Chicago in Edgewater, and then he moved to Des Plaines, I believe, which is like a north suburb, kind of close to Rosemont, I think. So crazy.
The Biological Resource Center of Illinois, like similar operations across the country, operated within a particular business model. The company solicited body donations from individuals who wished to contribute to medical science after their death.
I believe that there's evil doctors out there for sure. Like, man, have you ever met an evil doctor? Are you an evil doctor?
Such donations are vital for medical research and training. Surgeons practice new techniques on cadavers, researchers test new medical devices, and students learn human anatomy through direct examination. And what makes these cases troubling, according to investigators, was the alleged deception involved. Federal agents claimed that the BRCIL had assured donors and families that remains would not be sold. However, financial records recovered during the January raids painted a different picture.
Word.
One of commodification with specific price points. Whole corpses selling for $5,000 and up, arms for $750, and heads for $500. Even more disturbing were the allegations regarding the condition of some of the remains.
Whoa! I know that they not finna say what I think they finna say, bro.
According to the unsealed documents, some body parts were infected with HIV, hepatitis, and other diseases, conditions that should have disqualified them from sale or medical use. So keep that in mind for later, because we'll touch on that again. These remains were allegedly sold to hospitals, doctors, and medical training facilities, both in the United States and internationally, potentially putting healthcare workers at risk. Now, behind the BRCIL were Donald A. Green and his son, Donald A. Green II, who together owned both the body donation business and the Schiller Park crematorium. On September 21st, 2021, the U.S. District Court of the Eastern District of Michigan convicted and sentenced Donald A. Green Sr. to 24 months of incarceration, 36 months of supervised release, and a $100 special assessment. And on October 13th of 2021, the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Michigan convicted and sentenced.
Michigan, there's always some Midwest crazy shit happening in the Midwest, man. The Midwest is probably the closest thing to Mars.
Donald A. Green II to 30 days of incarceration, 1 year of supervised release, and a $100 special assessment fee. In my opinion, that is not enough time for these types of crimes. I think they got off easy. But that was just in Illinois, because
Illinois is one of the most fraud states ever, for like all the fucking bullshit motherfuckers we had come here, like Like our government, governor got locked up. Man, all type of shit, man. The mob, also, man, a lot of that shit I ain't even want to talk about, man. But Chicago got a dark cloud over it, man. It's just always some bullshit with Chicago, man. It's like bad luck. Like you think all of our rappers damn near end up crashing out. Like everything. Like we got Jordan though. Swish.
Illinois' case was not isolated. Similar investigations have exposed questionable practices in the body donation industry nationwide, revealing a pattern of alleged abuses spanning decades. In 2014, the FBI raided the Biological Resource Center in Arizona, owned by Stephen Gore. What agents found there shocked even experienced investigators. A cooler filled with severed heads, a bucket of limbs, and according to court documents, a macabre scene reminiscent of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Torsos with heads of different people sewn together.
What the
Gore
fuck?
later pleaded guilty to illegal control of an enterprise
Frankenstein type
and was
of shit.
sentenced to probation. He got sentenced to probation for
This the real Frankenstein right here, y'all.
enterprise
This
and
the
was
real
sentenced to
this the nigga.
probation. He got sentenced
That's the nigga? He looked like Frankenstein, bro. People be coming back from different dimensions and shit, man. What the fuck?
to probation for basically performing experiments with people's bodies, people's dead bodies, sewing heads onto
Evil fucking doctors. That's what I'm saying, bro. What if everything that happens in the world is because of an evil doctor? Every bad thing, crazy thing that happened in the world is because of some evil doctor had an experiment that went wrong.
the corpses. Like, what the hell? In 2018, a Reuters investigation titled The Body Trade documented how the Detroit warehouse connected to the Illinois case was tied to businessman Arthur Rathburn. Rathburn was eventually sentenced to 9 years in prison for fraud.
That kind of sound like Ratburn, and wasn't that Ratburn nigga from Simpsons a shiesty nigga too? What the fuck wasn't he? Let me know. Somebody put it in the comments. Was Mr. Ratburn a shiesty nigga? Cause this nigga look shiesty. He looked like he got a different face that he puts on when he. I don't know, man.
And shipping hazardous materials after he was found to have supplied body parts infected with HIV and hepatitis to medical researchers. In Colorado, similar allegations surfaced against Megan Hess and her mother Shirley Koch, who operated Sunset Mesa Funeral Home. Prosecutors alleged they sold body parts from hundreds of corpses they were supposed to cremate, often without families' permission. In some cases, they
was trying to get
allegedly
a
provided
bag.
families with concrete dust instead of ashes, while selling the body.
They was trying to get a bag. They thought that shit was gonna come back to haunt them. Damn, that's fucked up though. That's some fucked up karma. Like in your next life, what the fuck?
Bodies. Both pleaded guilty to mail fraud and were sentenced to prison in 2023. But there's another disturbing pattern across America that
Hey, I know I'm not tweaking, but it's like they noses is both going in two different directions. The one that's on the left, her nose going like this. The one on the right, her nose going like this. It's like they shit both going the opposite direction. What the fuck?
23. But there's another
So
disturbing
look at which that is.
pattern across America that few have connected to the body broker industry. People who disappeared without a trace from medical facilities. Nevaeh Richard,
I ain't gonna lie,
just
this shit-
2 years old,
this shit starting to get
went
scary,
missing
y'all.
on November 13th of 2012 from a doctor's appointment in Cleveland, Ohio. Nevaeh has been diagnosed with Waardenburg syndrome, a genetic condition that causes congenital hearing loss and changes in pigmentation of the skin, hair, and eyes. Could she have been targeted for her genetic condition? There's not a lot known about this case.
The genetic conditions. So sometimes they target people with different genetic conditions, but why to do experiments and shit? That's some evil ass doctor shit, bro. They sacrificing people for their experiments. What the fuck?
But it's believed that the mother or a friend of the mother took the child to a doctor's appointment, but it's unclear how the two became separated. Carlton Purnell was last seen on June 18th, 2024 at Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago, Illinois. It's unclear
I've been to this hospital before. Yeah, my dad been to this hospital before. It's downtown.
as to why he was admitted to the hospital, but when nurses went to check on him after a shift change, he was nowhere to be found. His wallet and personal items were untouched and left behind. Of course, no surveillance footage could be found of Carlton actually leaving the hospital. Bartolo Diaz Ortiz,
What?
aged 41. Of course, no surveillance footage could be found of Carlton actually leaving the hospital. Bartolo
Who-
Diaz Ortiz.
Wait a minute, they doing that in Northwestern gang? I hope they ain't doing that in Northwestern gang, but that makes sense because it's right in the center of the city. Man, shit, bro, the truth be scary, y'all.
Aged 41, was last seen crossing the border into Arizona. 3 people were crossing together. They were apprehended and they said Bartolo was taken to the hospital. When the other 2 inquired about him later, when they were in detention, they were told that he had died. Bartolo
What?
has not been seen since. Do you think it's possible that some of these people that are crossing the border are getting snatched up and made victims of the human body part trade as well? Let me know in the comment section. George Gregory Smith was
Scary shit, y'all.
last seen when he was allegedly discharged from a Detroit, Michigan hospital on May 1st, 2006. He was never heard from again. And again, no surveillance footage of him actually leaving the hospital. Frank Brown disappeared on June 3rd, 2015, after being hospitalized for seizures at Baptist Hospital in Jacksonville, Florida. And nearly 9 years later,
Jacksonville, Florida. I've been there before, y'all. It's a crazy place. That place is haunted, bro. We went down there to do what we do. I did a freestyle circle inside of a youth prison. What else did we do? Did we perform? We did like some circles. I don't know if we got a chance to perform. We probably did, but we did some restorative justice circles down there. Crazy, man. We was all through the hood, man. It's 2 different parts though. Jackson, Florida is actually the biggest city that's in the mainland of the United States as far as mass. You know, like it's like land. You know, it's the biggest city as far as land. It takes like an hour and a half to get from like the north side to the south side or something like that. We learned that. So, but yeah, man, shit, man, that Jacksonville drill shit, like that shit crazy too.
his case remains unsolved, with no substantial leads or clues about what happened to him. Frank had been hospitalized for several days due to seizure-related issues. When it was time for him to be released, he called his brother Ernest and their mother to say he was being released and needed a ride home. Ernest and his mother showed up to the hospital. They waited in the hospital lobby for approximately 30 minutes, but Frank never appeared. When Ernest went to Frank's hospital room to check on him, his hospital room was empty, and hospital staff informed him that Frank had already left. Surveillance footage did show
Talking about some Frank already left.
Frank in the hospital, but it never actually showed him leaving. Shanice Burrell vanished from a St. Louis
What the fuck? Who the fuck is in the hospital doing this?
hospital in 2011 while visiting her newborn in the NICU. Lamont Jenkins went missing from University Hospital's Cleveland Medical Center in 2014. Derek Chambers vanished from the Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn in 2012. While
Oak Lawn, I know where that's at. That's in Chicago. It's like the suburbs. It's like I think it's a south suburb, but I've definitely been around there.
recovering from a minor surgery. And I can just list probably 100 cases here of people that went missing in a hospital.
Damn.
These cases share disturbing similarities. Many of these individuals disappeared despite security cameras throughout the facilities. Personal belongings were often left behind, and in several cases,
What if motherfuckers just like teleporting to another realm or some shit? Crazy shit.
the security footage has gaps or malfunctions at critical moments. We have to ask the uncomfortable questions here. Is it possible that some of these missing persons cases are connected to the underground body trade? Could vulnerable patients be targeted by those looking to profit in this shady industry? The geographic overlap is striking. Many disappearances occurred in the same cities where body broker operations were later raided. In Detroit, where Arthur Rathburn ran his business before being sentenced to 9 years in prison. In Chicago, where the Greens operated. In Phoenix, where Stephen Gore's facility was raided. The body broker industry operates in a
They all got facilities for this shit, bro. Evil scientists, mad scientist shit, man. This shit fucked up. Fuck y'all.
regulatory vacuum. While the sale of organs for transplant is strictly regulated, the trade in non-transplant body parts has minimal oversight. Only a handful of states have laws specifically regulating body brokers. This patchwork approach to regulation creates opportunities for those willing to push ethical and legal boundaries. Now, the legitimate medical donation industry is vital to healthcare advancement, but the profit motive, combined with minimal oversight, creates conditions where exploitation becomes possible. When whole bodies can
It's all about money, bro. Sacrificing human bodies for money is wild.
sell for thousands of dollars, and there's little regulation to prevent abuse. We must consider whether this creates incentives for criminal behavior. It's reported that law enforcement officials won't comment on potential connections between these missing persons cases and the body broker business, but multiple agencies have quietly reopened investigations. The Illinois case, like others before it, raised important questions about how society handles human remains and the responsibilities of those who facilitate body donations. While medical science depends on such donations, the commodification of human remains strikes many as deeply troubling. The unsealed documents from the Illinois investigation revealed just one facet of a complex industry operating at the intersection of medicine, ethics, and commerce. For regulators, lawmakers, and the medical community, such cases highlight the need for greater transparency, consistent standards, and appropriate oversight to ensure that those who donate their bodies to advance science can do so with confidence that their final wishes will be honored with dignity and respect.
So these scientists feel like people need to sacrifice their bodies for the advancement of science. That's crazy. Talk about wanting to advance something so bad that you willing to sacrifice people. Like you just like, man, bro, people just gotta get sacrificed. Cause we gotta advance. That's fucking sick, bro. That's crazy.
Families of the missing, the possibility that their loved ones could have been exploited in this way adds a new layer of horror to their ongoing nightmare. What if these disappearances aren't random? What if there's a pattern that has been overlooked? But what do you all think? Is there a connection between those that have gone missing in hospital facilities and the body broker industry? People will do anything for money.
They would.
All I know is if you go to the hospital, make sure you have someone with you that you trust. You know that family member that's always ready to crash out? Yeah, that one. You should bring them with you too. All right, guys, that's going to be it. Let me know what you guys think of this one in the comment section.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit kind of scared me, man. Why the fuck I just let that shit scare me like that, y'all? But that's some crazy shit. Like, y'all stay safe out here. Don't lack out here. It's a lot of crazy shit going on, man. People harvesting bodies, and shit. So I'm still spooked. I ain't gonna lie, man. Comment on this and let me know what y'all think about this type of shit, man. Do y'all believe it? Do y'all think it's cap? What can we do to stop it? Man, I appreciate y'all watching this video, man. I'm finna go I'm finna go reflect on something, you know what I'm saying? But till next time, make sure that you guys click the notification bell. Appreciate y'all. Swayze.